Once I went to the beach and took a dive. When I came up, guess what I saw? I see a diaper. Yuck. And I wondered what all the fish in the ocean would be saying. There's something fishy. Every time we go to the beach, we see loads of trash around us. Every time we swim in the ocean, it's almost like wrestling with the plastic. I wondered if this could ever stop. I wondered if this could ever end. I wondered if our beaches could ever be free of plastic. This is what inspired me to talk on marine pollution. I'm sure you all know what is marine pollution. It's the combination of trash and chemicals, most of which is blown or washed from land sources. Marine pollution is being found everywhere, from the remotest islands of the Pacific to the depths of the Mariana Trench to the beaches around us. Marine pollution has found its way into places even we humans can't visit without special equipment. Marine pollution has various types, such as industrial pollution, chemical pollution, agricultural pollution, and chemical pollution. All of this results in damage being caused to our environment. All of us know and use plastic on a daily basis. But do we know what plastic exactly is? What is its history? For most of our history, humans have used whatever was found in nature to build and create items. But the invention of plastic roughly 100 years ago changed everything and made an impression on our history. Plastic is made from a chain of polymers that are a long repeating chain of molecule groups. Polymers are found everywhere naturally. Silk, walls of cells, DNA, insect carapaces. All of these are examples of natural polymers. But they can also be imitated artificially by breaking down crude oil into its components and rearranging them. These synthetic polymers have extraordinary traits. They are lightweight, durable, and can be molded into almost any shape. Plastic can be mass-produced, and its raw materials are available in vast amounts and very cheaply. Plastic is divided into various categories based on its uses, recyclability, and heat resistance. Plastic based on uses includes bakelite, which is used for mechanical parts, PVCs for plumbing, electric gears and casing, nylon for stockings and war equipment, and acrylic, which is a shatter-resistant alternative to glass. Then plastics are based on recyclability. Behind most plastic goods, there is a triangle with a number written in it, either on the label or behind the plastic good itself. That signifies how good and well it is to recycle. Number 1 is best and number 6 is worst. Then we have plastics based on heat resistance, such as thermostats, which are heat resistant, and thermoplastics, which are not heat resistant and can be melted. So if plastic is so useful, then why is it the main problem? This is because plastic does not decompose. It just breaks down into smaller micro and nanoplastics. Single-use plastics like plastic bags, disposable spoons, mugs, all of these we don't think about this a lot. It just comes and goes into the trash. But unfortunately, it does not decompose. Since synthetic polymers are so durable, they take from 500 to 1,000 years to break down. Break down, I emphasize, into something worse than the whole plastic itself. Synthetic polymers have extraordinary traits, yes, but they are very durable, and this means that they take a long time to break down. Now, case study on plastic was done, showing its effects on marine life. Studies show that there's so much plastic in the ocean that by 2015, 90% of seabirds had already eaten trash. 90%. Imagine how many. Have you heard of the dead sperm whale that died in Spain eating 32 kilos of bags, nets, and a drum? All of these poor animals are starving with stomachs full of trash. They die a slow, painful, and horrible death. This is only to mention a few examples. Anyways, a quick question. What is a gyre and how many gyres does the Great Pacific Garbage Patch consist of? Well, a gyre is a large circulating ocean current that disperses heat and minerals across the ocean, and the Great Pacific Garbage Patch consists of 2 gyres. How many garbage patches are there across the ocean? There are 5 such garbage patches across the ocean. Now with this, we move on to understanding what is a garbage island. We have tons of plastic and other debris floating around, causing garbage islands. It is said if we continue to pollute our environment at this rate, by 2050, all the fish will be outweighed in the ocean. All the fish. Now, let's move on to understanding what is a microplastic. We have tons of plastic and other floating debris that are causing microplastics. Microplastics are found in cosmetics and toothpaste, but most of them are a result of floating pieces of plastic breaking down into smaller particles, into microplastics. Natural agents break them down into tiny particles, which plastics already have some chemicals, and they absorb large amount of industrial and agricultural toxins. Plastics have chemicals such as BPA and DEHP. BPA causes hormonal disorder and DEHP causes cancer. Now, we move on to understanding what is a nanoplastic. A nanoplastic is a piece of plastic smaller than microplastics. They are as small as human cells. They are so small that we would have to take 100,000 nanoplastics stacked one top of another to reach a thickness of a sheet of paper. Nanoplastics are being found in water and air. So why should we be cautious of these plastics, of micro and nanoplastics? Well, they are found in our food chain and they affect and damage our DNA. Yes, you heard that right. The toxic profile of these plastics is worse than the visible plastics. They absorb large amount of industrial and agricultural toxins and contaminate the food chain. Zooplankton, the base of the ocean, eat microplastics. Small fish eat zooplankton. Big fish, oysters, crabs eat smaller fish, and they all land on our plate. We consume at least 4,000 particles of nanoplastics according to the research performed by Orb Media. They say a large amount of drinking water is contaminated by micro and nanoplastics. So, is plastic pollution the only type of pollution? No. There are many other types of pollution, such as industrial pollution, which is caused when large amount of industrial and agricultural toxins are dumped into the water bodies. These release high amount of chemicals that harm the ecosystem. Then there's chemical pollution, which is when large amount of chemicals are dumped. This not only harms the ecosystem living within, but when we eat fish and other organisms that are living in the ecosystem, we get all the toxins in us. So one example of this could be mercury leaks. Then we have agricultural pollution, which is when large amount of agricultural pesticides and fertilizers are put into the soil. This leads to the soil not only losing its fertility, but also algae blooms by the nutrients provided by the fertilizers and pesticides. This blocks sunlight and destroys the ecosystem living within. So after hearing all of this, what is the solution? What can we do? Well, banning plastics? No. What we need presently is small changes in our lifestyle that can have a big impact on our environment. Small changes such as carrying our own bags to the grocery store, carrying our own water bottles and mugs that can prevent us from buying plastic ones, aiming at reusing jam and pickle jars we get from the stores. All of these small steps can have a huge impact on our environment and are a leap towards a zero emission future. Now many companies are also indeed taking action. Example, some companies are converting plastic bags and bottles to shoes. Some other companies are converting seaweed into bags that look and feel like plastic but are decomposable. Other companies, they're using hair of humans and animals and converting them to mats, which absorb large amount of oil and oil spills. Now, some interesting facts. What if I told you you all were urinating plastic? How does that sound? Funny, scary? Yes, that is true. 93% of adults are urinating BPA, which is a common plastic additive added to the plastics for transparency. This can cause hormonal problems. The next fun fact is phthalates, a common plastic additive, is being found in 80% of babies and nearly all adults. So, we all need to come together as a society and turn the tide on marine pollution. Many companies are indeed taking action, such as some companies are converting plastic bags and bottles to shoes. Some other companies are converting plastic to bricks that can be used to make structures. We can support these organizations by funding and volunteering for any activities such as beach cleanups they fund. And to join in, we can follow some basic steps such as reduce, reuse, recycle. These steps may seem small, but they have a huge impact on our environment. In the end, I would like to say, marine pollution is not a problem we can face alone. We need to come together as societies, countries, individuals, and face this problem together. We need to make a change before it's too late to save our planet. After all, there's no place like home. After all, there's no planet B. Thank you.